Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am Sean Anderson, Most Valuable Podcast, and the upcoming segment is from our full Fast Break podcast that we recorded. And if you do want to check out that full podcast, head over to Blog Talk Radio /The Fast Break. You'll be able to find the full podcast over there.
Yeah, so I think that it was just poor move.
Well, I want to kind of transition a little bit to there, and it's just more about Jimmy because we'll talk about Jimmy in the Boston Celtics topic that we have coming up, but it's more of should the Bulls build around Jimmy or should they trade him? And then we'll talk about the deals that they did pass up with the Celtics in the next topic. But should the Bulls keep Jimmy Butler or should they trade him and try to rebuild? Do you even trust a rebuild from Garpax?
I don't think they can develop talent. Jimmy was the last guy that they developed. I feel like that was more him. That was Tibbs, and I felt like that was more on Jimmy than on this whole organization. I feel like he was bought in on himself, and he gym ratted out. Like, that's all he was. And he got better every year, and he kept getting better despite what people thought was his cap. So I have no faith in this organization as far as developing young talent. I have very little faith in Garpax and putting a competent team together around any talent that they do get. So no, I'm just. It's hard to be a Bulls fan right now. It's hard to see a future that's positive because while we do have one of the best two-way players in the league, who is arguably a top 10 player, you still don't see a way that we're gonna put together a team and compete.
Do you want to keep him though? Do you want to keep him around, or
I tried to avoid that one. If you didn't notice.
I know you did. That's why I'm pushing it back at you. Do you want to keep him around, or do you want to go and try the rebuild? Because again, like you said, you don't trust the faith of developing young talent, but do you want to still stay stagnant with Jimmy Butler? Because then you're going to bring in more veterans. You're going to bring in more guys like D Wade and Rondo, because that's what this fucking front office does.
Yeah, I think that you have to go for the rebuild. And I think one of the things that held them back and one of the rumored deals was the fact that Nets pick swap wasn't a guaranteed one. If you gave me a guaranteed one overall, it's different. And that's why I think this postseason leading into the offseason is going to be really telling.
You bring up the postseason, obviously the Bulls still have a chance at the postseason with the way this team's playing, especially Jimmy Butler.
How?
Thank you. Oh, shit.
It's just one of our videos scared me a little bit. Don't forget to check out that one. And also don't forget to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.